Hi ladies, it's Karen, and I come to you this morning with a couple of completed projects. Actually, one is a tag that I completed that I was going to share, but I especially wanted to share my shadow box that I created yesterday. And I did this in like a shabby chic vintage type style. And this is using one of the small shadow boxes that you can find at the Dollar Tree, or at least at one time you were able to find them at the Dollar Tree. And it's the raw wood shadow boxes, and it's really super cute. So the first thing I did with the box was I went over the whole box with gesso, and but when it came to the inside, I didn't, I didn't go over it completely with the gesso. But I went over the whole box with gesso, and then I painted. Do you see that ivory buttery color? I painted the whole box that buttery ivory color, even on the insides. And I was kind of sloppy about it on the inside compartments just because I wanted it to have that shabby kind of feel to it. So I used that color, and then I used my crackle medium, and I went over it in this, it's called light antique white. And the crackle really came out nice on this project. So I was really thrilled about that. And I even crackled a lot of different places on the inside of the box, or the shadow box. If you could see, the lighting's not real good. It just started to storm here, so I'm hoping, it's good enough for you to see these details, because I think it came out so cute. And you could see in that compartment the crackling effect came out really nice in this larger compartment. So, and in there. So that's what I did first. And then I just took a bunch of the, in the many racks that I've received lately. A lot of the ladies have been giving me, sending me all kinds of little doodads, in my racks, little spools and seashell beads and little pieces of lace and other metal embellishments and cameos and there's little things in here from Debbie and in here from Lydia. So I just took a bunch of those little doodad things and put them in my little bucket and started this shadow box. So I'll start with this top compartment, and then I'll just work around. So in this top compartment here, this image here is from one of those ATC vintage ladies pads that I had, and I just used my square punch and punched her out. Then I laid this little bit of trim that I had purchased at Hobby Lobby at one point, and then and up there in the corner, if you could see, I did that tearing effect and put a little bit of lace poking through. A lot of this shadow box is inspired by Miranda. She's MsLiberty25, I believe. I'll put her below. She does amazing configuration boxes, and she just inspired me to just start this. So this little ceramic rose here is from Cassie, and I just added the little pearl there and a little I Am Roses rosebud there. For this little compartment, that's a Tim Holtz lock, I guess you call it. And what I did with the metals in here was I painted them I mixed a little bit of a salmon kind of color paint, acrylic paint, and I mixed it with a little bit of gesso, and I mixed the two together, and then I painted that lock, and then I rubbed off, or I sanded off around the sides there so that that metal beading showed through. And then those brads are from Scrap and Jenny, and I attached it to that paper in the background there. It's the same paper as this paper, and I got that from Debbie. Debbie Stipp on YouTube. She had sent me this paper pad, so I used that. And then there's a piece of vintage lace from my rack from Stephanie on the bottom, right here. This is a bauble that I picked up at Hobby Lobby at one time, and this little pink cherry blossom is from Wanda. So, and then I added this little bit of dainty lace that I had gotten from Hobby Lobby up there, and this key, I did the same thing. I mixed some of the salmon or coral color acrylic paint with some white gesso, and then I just painted it and then sanded it very slightly to give it that shabby chic feel. So that's that compartment. And then this compartment, this in the background there is actually a photo. It's a black and white photo of the beach, and I had changed the color of the photo to black and white, and then I kind of dimmed it out a little bit, you know, so it would have that faded look. And I used the old paper Distress ink by Tim Holtz. I used that on all the papers in here to distress the sides. So that's a beach photo with the wave coming in there. And then on the bottom part here is some mesh that I had received from Stephanie, and some glittered mesh that I had received from Isabel, all the way from France. And I just kind of piled it all together, and there's a little bit of burlap here, and then I made a little, you know, spot here of lace, and then if you could see in the background there's another piece of that pearl, of that trim that has the pearl inside it. And then I just placed this bird that I'd received from Donna, thank you Donna, down in here as if it were a nest. So I thought that came out really super cute. This little coral flower is from Wanda, and these two little tiny little seashells, they are actually seashells, they're not beads, but they came from Stephanie in my recent rack. So I thought that came out really sweet. And then this up here is some, I cut off a little piece of vintage crocheted lace that Stephanie had sent me, and this is one of the flowers that she had sent me, and I put it there in the corner. So I thought that came out really sweet. And this little gray trim is, I believe that one is from Isabel, just a little snip of trim there. And so for this other box, let's see, this might be tricky. Sorry for the camera movement. And so for this other little compartment here, the background is a piece of vintage lace that I received recently from Stephanie, and if you could see, it's got that little bit of blue threading going through across. And the cameo I received recently from Lydia, and for the background of the cameo, I took my oval scallop punch and an old vintage book page from an old book I have, and I put the cameo on top of that. And then this material here is some of that vintage material that was in my rack from Stephanie, and it's really cute, very shabby chic. And I took this tiny little spool that I believe also came from Stephanie, and I just wrapped some string around it, and set it in there. This little row of pearls is from Cassie, and this little peach I Am Rosa's flower is from Wanda. I believe it's I Am Rosa's, I'm not quite sure. So that's that little compartment. And like I said, I went over the paper distressing with the old paper distressing. And then this trim here, I believe I picked that up at Joann's at one point. This compartment, the background paper is another piece of that vintage book. I just cut, you know, a square of the book page, and then this resin clay floral cameo is actually one of the Martha Stewart, is from the Martha Stewart molds and the Martha Stewart clay. And what I did was I dipped my finger in the sponge sugar distress ink and then just went over the flower like that, so you could see, you know, the highlights in the cameo. And then I used the gold rub and buff to go around the edges, and I am so clumsy with that gold rub and buff, as you could see. But I think it came out cute. And then this piece of vintage lace is also from my rack from Stephanie, and it is so soft, and it just feels really old. It's just very, very cool lace. So I just gathered it and adhered it in. And a lot of the glue that I used for inside here, I used Fabri-Tac. It's really good for not only fabrics, but for gluing wood. So a lot of the adhesive I used for this project is Fabri-Tac. This here is a piece of this trim, and I had received this from Lydia, and I just cut, you know, a little piece off like this. Whoops, and adhered it here with another little rose from Wanda. Then in this compartment that I had printed out some little images of vintage ladies off the internet, and that's one of them. This is some vintage lace also from my rack from Stephanie. This is a bingo piece, a vintage bingo piece that I received in my vintage rack from Lisa. And I went over it with gesso and a little bit of that coral color, and then I sanded it off so that the number and a little bit of the red color would come through. That little heart piece, turquoise heart piece, was also from Stephanie and some of the doodads that she sent me. This is one of those, I forget what you call it, but it's one of the Tim Holtz charms, I guess. And it has the word knowledge here, and I put it up because it had had a K, but that's what that is. And I went over that with gesso, and I just rubbed off where the word was so you can make out the word. And then for the bottom row, if you could see there, I laid some more of that sparkly kind of netting that I had received from Isabel and laid that down. That's a piece of burlap that I put in the background there. This butterfly is from Debbie, and I put that on pop dots. It actually came on a clip, and I snapped the clip off so I could just use that butterfly. I thought it was way cool. So I put the butterfly on pop dots. I added a seashell that I already had. And this little cherry blossom is from Wanda, from some of the flowers that she had shared with me. This is a piece of vintage lace from my rack from Stephanie. It's actually the other piece that goes to here. So I used that, and another little snippet of lace that I believe Isabel had sent me. For this compartment, this is another Martha Stewart frame from her molds, and this is using the Martha Stewart clay, and I put my finger in, I believe it was tea dye, and then I rubbed it all over so that it would highlight all the embossing or whatever in all the highlights in that frame. The image, there's another one that I downloaded off of the internet, and I thought she was super cute. I love her turquoise top, and I just thought that went really, really well. This bottom lace is vintage lace from Stephanie, and these flowers are from Wanda. That key in the back there is from my vintage rack from Lisa, and I went over that with you know, gesso and also some of that coral color. Excuse me. Some of that coral color, coral acrylic paint. I mixed the two together and then I sanded it off just a bit. This little cabochon here is from Cassie's Art Fire store. This lace is vintage lace that I received from Lisa in my vintage rack, and I just adhered it here, here, and here, and let it hang sort of like a banner. And this is another cabochon from Cassie's Art Fire store. And I thought that came out really cute. And these cabochons have a little bit of glitter or something. They really shimmer. They are really, really cute. And then this is an old stick pin that I had made a while back, and I just slid it in there. And this is just another snippet of that lace that I had gotten from Lydia. You know, another piece of this lace. That's what this is. So that's about it. I'm gonna it came out really, really cute. I'm gonna make it so that you could see it, the whole thing again, the whole overview again. I'm just really pleased with it. I'm so tickled that it came out so cute. It's really hard for me to do, you know, tiny things, manipulate tiny things. I can't feel my fingertips, and it was very, very tricky. So I'm really thrilled at how well this came out. I think it came out really cute. So, and then the back, I just put some more of that paper that Debbie had given me all the way from the Netherlands. This paper in the back, and this is a handmade canvas tag from Melissa Francis. So, and the back I had gone over with gesso. So that's my little shadow box, and I hope you like it. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll share the tag in another video. I've gone too long as it is. But thank you for watching, ladies. I really appreciate it, and I always appreciate your comments as well. So I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye now.